Welcome to horse racing today on Hump Day or Valentine's Day. Charles and myself today. Charles, hey, I got to spend Valentine's with you.
You have to spend Valentine's with me. Why not?
Oh, yes, I could not think of a better date for Valentine's than Sir Charles. At least Sir Charles on TV says some funny things from now and then, mixed in with about 97 dumb things out of 100. But hey, Charles,
Hey,
you do better. You do much better than that.
at least I'm hitting it, right?
That's right. So how did you do on your last basketball pick? I forgot to ask.
It won.
It won. You don't even know what the pick was, but it won.
It was amazing.
I love the confidence. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hopefully you have the same confidence today for Gulfstream Park. Yesterday, I guess we got stormed out yesterday at Parks. Bad weather out in the East Coast. Hopefully things are better out there today. If not, we could have a little bit of trouble because Penn National is our free track tonight at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below. Cool in Blue, Mr. Charles, the first pick in the first race. That one will kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure tonight, when you're sitting around trying to figure out what to do, and you look at Parks, you look at Penn National, remember, it is the free track. There is a link in the description down below, Charles, but we're here to go to better, sunnier destinations, one of which is Gulfstream Park today. What's happening in the first race?
Well, they're going to be on the 5 furlongs. They're doing 5 furlongs on Tapeta. Yay. And this is a maiden claiming of 16,000. This is purse for 24,000. This is for fillies, 3-year-olds.
3-year-old fillies. There we go. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Char filly. And then, of course, Kaisi with his picks today at Gulfstream Park. Screenshot that. See what how his picks play out. We're all here. If, like Kaisi Fassi, you have some ideas today across any track, Gulfstream Park, handicapping angles. You got questions for the trainer, bloodstock agent, whatever else Charles has done around the track.
And the Valentines of your choice.
Of your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. You never know. I'm sure somebody out there, you're the Valentine's of their dreams.
I suckered one in, so I'm good. I'm honored. I'm at 1,000 there.
You should be. You definitely are the definition of an overachiever in that regard.
That's right,
Charles. In race number 1 at 5 furlongs on your favorite surface, the kind of horse that typically wins does have early speed. In fact, 4 out of 10 win going wire to wire. So get to the front. You got a high probability of staying there. Post position wise, the rail plays fair, although at 30-1, touched by quality, might not get the benefit of the rail. 2 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out is best. 1,000 simulations. Actually, they're more than that now. It's up to 10,000 simulations now. Charles, to get our simulated odds, we want our sim odds to be lower than post time odds. We're also looking for horses, what % chance they have to run a par figure or better for this level of 75. The only horse that can make that claim is the 6, Vesta. And then we also want to see who's going to be on the lead. The 3 horse does look like that has a good shot. And then based upon our projected pace, which horses are likely to get a race that mirrors, since these are maiden claimings, their best performances. Charles, what do you see in the red, white, and green?
Well, it looks like the 3 horse has the most speed here, 93% chance, actually almost 94, to get that lead at the quarter pole. And you know what? Probably most likely that's going to be all true. The 6 might keep that horse in check, but that's about it. When it comes to simulation odds, let's see what we got here. The 3, just slightly under 2-1 we have it at, and the morning line's 5-1. So that's a nice little overlay. The 4, slightly over 2-1. We have 3-1 morning line. That's another little overlay. And then we have the 7, just slightly over 6-1. We have 30-1 morning line. Nice overlay there.
Yes, sir. And then again, talking about the par plus, only horse in there that small chance is Vesta. Strong seasons for the 2 and the 5. Looking at pace handicapping, we want to see where these horses want to be. So far, the 2, 3, 4, and 5, I guess, those inside horses there with the 1 scratching. They have not finished within 5 lengths of the finish of the winner at the finish line when they took the photo. The 6 and 7 want to be forwardly placed. Pressure horses, not pilots, but co-pilots. So the 6 should be right in that spot. And the 7 might really take on the role more of a cruiser play with that early pace. Looking at the late speed, Charles, that 6 horse, which should sit right behind the 3 horse, about 3/4 of a length better than the next closest competition. And then if we look at our top total pace horse in here, Mr. Charles, the 6 horse is 10 points clear of the next closest horse. Anytime you get 10 points clear, that's about a 2-length win. If all things kind of fall into place, that horse should make good work of this field. Charles, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a one-horse race. I think it's if you beat the 6, I mean, who knows who's going to beat the 6? But I think the 6 is the winner here. This horse drops in class today. 3rd start after a layoff. Trainer gets 17% with that angle. Then we have its 2nd time Lasix use, which I love that angle also. This horse definitely has tactical speed. Could sit right there 3rd or so, maybe. The question is, can the 3 hang on? The 3 is my 2nd choice, and I'm saying no, it cannot hang on for at least 1st. Drops in class today. Trainer gets 16% in its 2nd race. And then the 5 is my 3rd choice. Drops in class today. Trainer gets 27% when he takes a horse from a route to a sprint, which is I love that angle also. Cuts back in distance. And Irad's aboard, so it makes this horse a little on the dangerous side. But then the 2 is my final choice here. This horse drops in class. Blinkers come off today, so they're trying to get this horse to relax a little bit. Looks like it fits with this group, but you're going to have to beat the 6, in my opinion.
Yeah, the 6 last time out, Charles ran a speed figure that was 9 points clear of the next closest horse. Everybody's got to come up, or that one's got to go down. I don't know if it's going to go down in the 3rd start after a layoff with a bullet workout between races. Should remain sharp and does have that 10-point total pace advantage. Reassess, likely to be the one that they have to catch, as we've talked about, based on its debut. 2 works between them, so should continue to be fit and coming down multiple classes. So maybe a good combination for the win there. Cap, Horn. What do you think? Horn? I don't know. This one absolutely showed a little bit more interest early on in its 2nd career start. I think cutting back in class and distance should add to that horse's success. Then finally, Haley's Happy Girl. Very consistent performer. Going to drop in class here. Charles, I'm going to do a pick 5. I'm going to single that 6 with the 2, 6, 7, 9 with the 4, 6, the 1, 3 with the 1, 7, 12. As Charles and I have a $100 budget. We got to go to the track with the Ben Franklin and make it last throughout the entirety of the day. Let's see, Danny Jackson. What's up? Any horses here named after you? Well, sort of. Danny, number 7.
Danny, number 7.
Yes, my sweet Danny. There you go. And
yeah, that's one thing. Probably not. He's not sweet. Maybe today on Valentine's Day, but.
But it'll overlay there, Charles, right? I mean, we have it at basically 7 to 1, 6 to 1, somewhere in that range, 30 to 1 morning line.
And right now he's going off, or she's going off at 25 to 1.
A little bit of a getting bet down. There's some value there. Christopher D'Souza in race number 1. He says the 2 horse Glitter Bomb. That's Charles on Saturday nights.
That's right.
The 2, 3, 6 exact in trifecta box. How long do we have this first race here, Mr. Charles?
They're on the track, but they're saying 0, but.
Yeah, that's never that case there. I'm showing, are they anywhere near the
No, they're just walking still.
I gotta log in, so forgive me, folks. All right, let's just do race 2 then real fast, Charles, and see if we can get through that before race 1 starts.
Guess what? We got another 5 furlong on Tapeta. Maiden optional claiming a 50,000 purses 50,000. This is for the fillies 3-year-olds, Florida breds, or maiden claiming price of 50,000.
Again, at 5 furlongs, you're looking for some early speed on the inside or on the outside, 8+ or on the rail. You're also looking for horses that have some speed, Charles. So let's go ahead and look in race number 2. Again, a lot of these horses really don't have a whole lot of experience, so the data is thin, Charles. But based upon the thin data, who's going to get the lead here?
It shows that there's plenty of speed in this race, but it looks like the 7. Sugar and Spice. What is with all this sugar and spice, sweetness, and everything on Valentine's Day? 48% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. But, there is plenty other speed in here to keep this horse honest. So you got the 9, possibly even the 6, not 6, but the 3. So anyway, when it comes to simulation odds, we got the 2 at just under even money. We have 2.5 to 1 morning line, and then that's it.
it.
That's all we got.
Two's also a par plus, about a 40% chance to get that job done. Some pretty solid C zones on the outside. Looking at the race shape for number 2, Mr. Charles. 136, going to give it a go for the first time. The 9, Save Us Molina, has not saved anything for the end of the race, not within 5 lengths. So everybody else wants to be middle forward. Looking of that middle forward group, Charles, the one that's likely to get the early lead is Sugar and Spice. Save Us Molina. Trumpets, the 2 horse, should get a good position on the inside. You're coming down that stretch. Look at that horse, has a huge 12-point advantage over the next closest horse. So Trumpets should sit right off the lead, have some really good late kick, notwithstanding what the 3 or 6 or 1 do. I don't know. Did the 1 scratch? I just forgot to take it out of there. I'm not sure. And then our total pace in there, Charles, does look like it favors the 2 horse, 9 points clear of anybody else. Real quick, let's run through our picks.
All right. Well, I do like that 2 on top. I think it's got enough speed. If it happens to find itself on the lead, it's fine. It's got a really good kick at the end, as the charts show. This horse ran second last time. Been off for 53 days, but it's got a solid workout pattern. I'm not too worried about it. The 9 horse is my second pick here. Drops in class, cuts back in distance. Trainer gets 19% with 46 plus days of rest. IRAD's aboard. The 7 is my third choice. Definitely has some speed. Drops in class. First time Lasix user. Got a hot jockey the last 7 days. And then the 6 is my final choice here. Dam has 2 winners from 2 starters. Bred for this. Got a solid workout pattern. Might as well take a first-time starter, at least hit the board somewhere.
You got your pick 4 here. I'm going to go with Trumpets, the 2 horse. Just missed at this level in her debut. Going to be more fit in second career start. Decent workout. Save Us Molina, track dropper coming in from the Naira circuit. Got some early speed. Got some first Lasix. Gazan, some really good works out. December 31st stands out. Good breeding. And Sugar and Spices, that maiden special weight dropper. Charles, only horse in this race that has run a race above par. Race number 1 about to get started. Mr. Charles, we got that done just in the nick of time. The gates have opened. Pretty clean start. Looks like right now the 2 horse on the rail is the one that has got into the lead. Glitter Bomb. So the 3 horse, the one that was projected to get the lead, though, keeping it company to the outside, it looks like. And then the 5 horse, Cap Horn, taking that 2 wide position with the 4 horse now, trying to save a little bit of ground on the rail. The 7 horse, My Sweetheart Danny, going to go 3 wide through the turn. Not, I think, the greatest strategy at all. The 6 horse, Viesta, the favorite right now, sitting in last place. Jockey kind of good hold on him. 3 horses now taking the lead, reassess as though we thought. You got the 4 horse trying to split horses coming up there. The 6 horse getting into gauge and getting into action there. The jockey cracking him a couple times. 3 horses to the lead. The 4 horse, Charles, storming in there. The 6 horse running up the rear end of the 4 horse and had to redirect that horse. Probably cost him the race right there, Mr. Charles. You got, looks like the 4 horse is probably going to have 4, 3, 6, and is that the 1, 4, 3, 6, and 7? Maybe the one, I'm not sure. 4, 3, 6. Yeah, was it the 7? 4, 3, 6, and 7. That was a interesting ride by the 4 horse there. I mean, 6 horse. Who's on that 6 horse, Mr. Charles?
Luis.
The 6 horse ridden by Luis Saez. Interesting. I mean, I guess the horse just kind of veered in on him. There's not much he could do about it.
Yeah, he kind of just veered a little bit and was running right up. He had a lot of momentum. So it's just the way it is. It was one of those things.
Yeah, he right up on the tail of the 4 horse there, and he had the break momentum and then try to get re-rally that horse and just didn't fire. And I don't think you're going to see a maiden claimer refire once it breaks its momentum. It kind of has to keep it, I would think. Charles.
Yeah.
Well, that kills the pick 5, but we got plenty of races to go. Race number 3, Sir Charles, what's at stake here?
And they're going a mile, and they're going on the main track. Wow, this is unusual. Claiming price is $62.50. Non-winners a 3. Lifetime purse is $19,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races. Pretty basic
stuff. And key to note here too that this is a 1-turn mile, so they act a little bit more like sprints than they do routes. So early speed can be a little bit more effective than it would be if there are 2 turns. And early speed has been the way to win at a mile at Gulfstream Park on the dirt. 19% of the time, gate to wire winners, a little bit of a rail discount for Federal Exchange. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 get a little discount. So you got that little according effect. And then 8 and out, a small bonus. No deal makers or breakers as far as post positions are concerned. You still want to have some speed in race number 3, Charles, and it looks like you got a little bit on the outside.
Yeah, the 7 itself, 51% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. But, look out for that 5 a little bit. That 5 definitely has some speed too, but I believe the 7 will have that lead at the quarter. When it comes to simulation odds, do we have anybody?
No, nope. Looks like the only one that was there scratched out, Wednesday Night Lady. Also one of 2. The other one, Major King, with an opportunity to go par plus here. As far as C-Zone is concerned, really only one over 50%. So it could be a pretty uncomfortable race for most, except Gonna Be Epic. The 4-horse did win the first race. Maybe just play 4s across the board today. Looking at our race shape, the 5-horse Nature Boy. Ric Flair not finding the anywhere near sniffing the finish line as a winner so far. Everybody else wants to be middle or back. Charles could open the door for the 6 if the 6 can get to the lead. Looks like the 6 and the 7 could compete for the lead. The 5-horse will keep them company, probably before fading off there at the end. Late speed-wise, that does belong to Gonna Be Epic, but looking at that early speed might be a little too far off the pace to get to the front runners by the time they hit the photo. Looking at our top total pace horse, Mr. Charles, Major King scoring 5 points clear of Holiday Fantasy. You got these 4 right here that produce roughly 70% of the time. The winner comes from there, Charles. It looks like the 2 and looks like maybe you cross off the 1 and 5 and then make your picks between the 2, 4, 6, and 7. What do you got? That's what we did.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I got there. I have a 2 on top. It ran second last time, and this horse does have tactical speed. Looks like it really likes this distance and the level, the claiming level. So I think this horse is pretty dangerous right here in this spot. The 6 ran third last time, hot at the claim box in the last 4, but not the last 4, 4 out of the last 5 races. Fits with this group. And then the 7 drops in class, has the speed to steal it if they had to. Trainer gets 14% with 46 plus days of rest. And then the 4 ran second last time, drops in class, and it's got a hot jockey the last 7 days. So I think it's a pretty wide open race between those 4 horses.
No bets for you?
No bets.
No bets for Mr. Charles in the 3rd. I have that 6-horse, the Loney. If it can get to the front, Charles has a good chance, I feel like, to stay there. Did show some better early fractions and pace last time out. And they've been okay at the mile. 1 win in a 3rd and 2 tries. Gonna Be Epic, the 4-horse. This one's is a closer, dropping in class. All of the race internals improved last time out, and does have that top total pace score in there. Number 2, Holiday Fantasy. That's the 2nd choice. It looks like the betting favorite, according to our, at least the morning line favorite, according to the morning line setter, Pete Aiello, who is also the track announcer down there. Very consistent performer, really. Lowercase Z pattern, a little bit of a pause in the middle of its last race before finding its 2nd win. Another that's fared okay at the distance in a couple of tries, a win and a 2nd. This runs for you. The 7-horse is the 4th pick for me. If the 6 doesn't get the lead, or the 5, then the 7 should get the lead. And it's running at the lowest level of its last 10 races. Trifecta 4-6, 2-4-6 over the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. That's my wager for race number 3. Race number 4, Charles. Next on, wrong button there. Working on something there, folks. We'll have a little bit more, but we could talk about that right now. Working on getting these sheets available, all of our data and more, actually, a lot more. Other things that I've been working on that just didn't have the time to squeeze into getting prepared for the show. We're working on that. Hopefully we'll have the legwork done where the data and all that can be ready for exporting into a format where we can publish it online. And again, there's a lot of other things that are involved beyond what we're doing here. So I'm really excited about that, Mr. Charles. And that's what that's there for the data library from Brisnet, to make sure I'm getting the right data pieces into the right places. Back to the all-weather.
Well, all weather again. 5.5 furlongs for race 4 here. Claiming price of $8,000 non-winners, a 2 lifetime purse is $22,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
5.5 furlongs on Sir Charles's favorite surface in the world. Early speed, almost half of the horses, 49% of the time, they go wire to wire. A little bit of a rail bonus for infamous no. 2 and 3, they get a little dinged. 4 through 7 play fair. 8 and out also get a bonus. Inside, outside speed in race 4, Charles, and unfortunately, the speed is flat in the middle.
Yes, the 4 at 63% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. I think the 7 has a little bit of a shot getting that lead at the quarter pole with a 20% chance on the chart. So look out for the 7 too. The 1, when it comes to simulation odds, we got even money and just slightly at 2.5 to 1 on morning lights. That's a nice little overlay. We have the 4 at 3 to 1, 10 to 1 morning line. That's a nice overlay, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah, the only par plus in here is the 1 horse. Good shot to go over the par level for this, and that's 80. So about about a 38% chance to run a speed figure above there. Pretty strong C zone. Should be pretty comfortable in there as well. Looking at the race pace setup, most people want to be middle forward, Charles. That could open up the door to the 1 if these guys all get involved into a pace meltdown or melt up, depending upon how you look at that. Early on, there's a lot of competition. Only it looks like the 8 horse kind of out of that mix, but not even that far out of the mix. Everybody else within 8 points. So a misstep, block, go wide, could be the difference between being first and being 8th at the quarter-mile marker. Late speed could come into play here on Jet Air. Yeah, that one has got the most late speed. Again, pretty competitive, though, for most of the horses in the field. Even the 6 horse, not too far off on that. Our top total pace horses, we got 4 of them, Charles, that are all within the same mix. The 1, the 3, the 6, the 7, and then a 5-point drop off to the rest. So maybe just take these 4, box them up, hope for your exacta trifecta in that mix. What say you?
Yeah, I like the 1 myself. I think I like the way everything's setting up for this horse. Like you said earlier in this section, that there's tons of speed for this horse to run at. I think they're going to set up. This horse ran 3rd last time. It was claimed last time. Does move up in class, but when you get claimed, you kind of have to, especially on so many days. You got Paco aboard. I just think the race is setting up for this horse. And like it says, par plus, and you got the C zone. A lot of good things going for this horse. The 6 is my second choice here. It ran 2nd last 2 times, got tactical speed, but look out for that horse on the front end or close to the front end. Fits with this group. And then the 7, which I think is going to be your leader overall, ran 3rd last time out. Trainer gets 32% first after a claim. And if you want to own a little cheap horse there, Rich, there's the one you might want to open up your wallet and claim this horse. This horse could do, pick up some checks for you. It's got a lot of speed to do that for you. And then the 2 has some tactical speed, drops in class, 2nd start after a layoff, and the trainer gets 15% with that angle. Why not? But it's I think it's in the top 2, possibly top 3 horses.
I have the 3 horse, one that you don't even have, Mexicoffee. There you go. That one is my top choice. A little better fractions last time out. Loves himself a little bit of Gulfstream all weather. He's the anti-Charles. 5 times out, 1 win, a couple seconds, and a 3rd. Number 1, infamous no. That one does have a bullet workout after being claimed. Paco Lopez going to get on, and the most consistent performer in the field with that, as you mentioned, strong par plus. The only place you can get that, right here, folks. Number 7, Peach Nectar. My dog's name is Peach, and she's sweet. I absolutely love that dog. My chubby blonde girlfriend, as I call her. Should be forwardly placed, as we see right there. Has the most back class. The question is, can he find it off the last couple of races? And number 4, Super Sunshine, has a super chance to get to the front. Going to run at the lowest level of its career. Let's see if that early speed can hold up against lighter company. Trifecta, I have a what do I have? A Trifcat? Yeah, a Trifcat. 50 cents Trifcat, Charles. 1-3 with the 1-3-7 with the 1-3-4 6 and 7. One thing about Google Sheets that's not very helpful is they do not have spell check. So at times, if I mistype, there will be a problem. I'll get a trifecta instead of a trifecta. Middle race of the card is, Charles, a nice little route on the grass.
Yeah, probably one of the best races today. The most, probably the super wide open too. Mile, turf, maiden, purse is 89,000. This is for Phillies 3-year-olds. This is a very tough race.
Yeah, and a mile on the grass to kind of maybe help narrow down your choices. Stalkers do pretty good, but still 19% manage to get to the front and hold that front. The rail, positive carry, that's a stinky place to go. Charles, 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and 7, a little bit of a small bonus. 8 and out is the best place to be. So there is absolutely an outside in bias to the middle race and the card, Charles. So we're looking for some speed, perhaps on the outside, at least tactical speed on the outside. Again, a race where plenty of them have some opportunity to be forwardly placed.
Yeah, remember, everybody, this is a maiden, and then they've only had 1 or 2 races under their belt. So some will wake up today because they're going on turf for the first time, and there's a lot of them that are bred for that. You got the 33% chance of getting the lead, probably most likely. But like I said, there's so many horses in here bred for the turf and getting it for the first time. I like to see what that turns out to be, but there's plenty of speed in here. When it comes simulation odds, the 1, just slightly under even money. You got 4.5 to 1 morning line. That's not too bad. The 7 at 3 to 1. You got 5 to 1 morning line. That's not too bad also.
Yeah, and even with the limited racing experience, positive carry, Hayaka and Candy Landy, they have a good shot to go over par. I mean, that one horse, 6 out of 10 chance. As far as C-Zone is concerned, look at this horse right here, Candy Lady, a little bit of an overlay, strong par plus, going to be part of the early mention. So you're looking at a horse that checks off a lot of boxes. We see a lot of those where you got green, 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 green across, end up performing exceptionally well. Many of them actually end up collecting the big check at the end of the day. 7's also, according to this, your lone E horse. Again, a lot of horses in here, the 4, the 10, the 12. They're going to give it a go. First time ever today. 2, 3, 6, and 8 so far in their experience have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. 1 and 5 has showed that they want to close. So maybe get to the front. A lot of these maiden races, Charles, and I was reading James Quinn's book, I think it is, on betting. When you're looking at maidens, you do want horses forwardly placed on turf, maybe more stalkers than you do want front runners. But early on, the early speed, if you're looking to see, Hayaka should be up in that leadership role. We'll get some contention from the 7. But if you're looking for those horses that are stalking, you got a host of them right in here. The 1, 2, 7, 3, and 8 of those, the one with the most late speed might be the one that really brings this race home. That's positive carry, 11 points better than everybody else. So if the 1 does sit 3rd or 4th coming out of that turn, we don't know what the 4, 10, or 12 are going to bring, but compared to the rest of these, should run by the rest of the experienced horses. And there you see the top total pace designation. Doesn't really change much. The 1, 6 points clear of everybody who's got some experience. So maybe the 1 horse is a winner in this wide open race, Charles.
It could be, but I'm going to go with a long shot here.
I'm going to go with the bomb. I'm curious to your reasons why. I'm interested.
Well, mainly it's the breeding on this horse, and this trainer does excellent job. And the last time this horse ran was on the all leather, and it did pretty good. Just gave in at the end. So I think getting the footing that this horse probably really wants, which is 100% turf, you've got to blame out of a Giants Causeway mare. I mean, that's saying turf all day long. And you got a first-time Lasix also. And if you look at that last race, it looks like it needed Lasix. So there's a lot of things there that I like. You got a jockey upgrade, in my opinion. Paco is aboard, and Riley Mott has been a hot trainer last 14 days. So he's got everything going in the right direction. That's why I like a long shot on top here. But I have to admit, the whole race itself has a lot of talent in here. Like the 12, for example. There's another one that's bred for this. You got a hot jockey the last 7 days. Bill Mott, Riley's dad, gets 12% with first-time starters, and this horse does have a solid workout program going there, so it looks like it's ready to rock and roll. The one that has probably the best experience ran even last time. Second start after a layoff. Brown gets 29% with that angle. Second time Lasix, Brown gets 31% with that angle. So a lot of good things there. And then the first time starter, the 10, is another one that's bred up and down for turf. Brown gets 18% with first time starters, and you got Irad aboard on that one. So I'm doing a try with all my horses. Plus, I'm doing a 5-win in place on my top pick because it's a nice, really nice price, and I think it's got a heck of a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it goes off at 20 to 1. You put 5 on it. There's your hundo. You get your hundo
That's
back
right
for the day. And then the place money will be just positive ROI. I think the one horse positive carry, that's the one I'm going to back on the top here, Charles, is that top total pace horse. Of all the horses in here that have experience, 2 of its 3 races that's run so far would be good enough to win here. I don't think it goes off at 92, but if it does, I'll be pretty happy about that. Candy Landy, the 7 horse gets the next call for me, does have that early speed ability. Catching that first time Lasix, that's always a big plus, Charles. That deep, dark green C-zone of all these horses in here, probably going to be the most comfortable with the way this race goes in terms of pace. And it's also a class dropper. If it can run back to its September 21st race, I think it would win this one going away. You do have a couple of first-time starters in here with the 12 and the 10. I'm not sure which one I wanted to put on top of the other. I went with the 12 horse because I felt like it had a little bit better breeding than the 10 horse, Mr. Charles. Bill Mott does win 20% of the time out with first-time starters. You're looking for a minimum number of 11%, and the workouts are pretty solid. I mean, from my recollection, Bill Mott doesn't really push his horses, so you're not going to see a lot of bullets in their workouts. If they do, they did it on their own. Would you say that's accurate, Charles?
That's 100% accurate, I believe.
All right. Well, we'll go with 99.44 Ivory Soap. And then Expatriate, the 10 horse. Again, wasn't really much difference in my view between the 10 and the 12. Got Chad Brown, so you know that's going to draw money. You got Irad, you know that's going to draw money. It's got decent works, but I don't feel like the breeding was as solid as the 12 horse. And, you know, Charles and I have had this conversation about breeding. I feel like the one time or the few times where breeding really matters is early on in its career, debut, maybe second start. But once they get on the track and they get running, you know who they are at that point. I did a trifecta 1, 7, 12, 1, 7 with the 1, 5, 7, 10, and 12. Probably should have did a little bit deeper on the back end because this might be actually an all button, Charles.
Yeah, it might be. I wish I could have hit the all button a couple of times on this, but yeah.
In the 6th race, I don't think we need the all button here. Charles, are we on race 6? Yes, we're on race 6.
Yeah, 6th race, I really don't need it. But 6 furlongs, claiming price $62.50, non-winners at 2 life on the main track. Purse is $19,000. 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And on that dirt course down there outside of the northern suburbs of Miami, Speed, baby, gets the job done. 40%, 39 out of 100 times. The winner goes straight from the first call to the winner's circle. Get a little bit of rail bonus for Carzone. So maybe Carzone can outrun 8-5 odds there. 2 and 3, a little bit of a penalty. 4 through 7, a little bit of a bonus. 8 and out. Woo! You don't want to be out there, Charles. It's like Pet Ventura coming out of the bathroom. Woo! No good. Stinky back there. Race number 6, Charles, looking for some early speed. Fortunately, there's not an 8 out, but you do have speeds. Pretty much everybody except the 3 has some opportunity to get the lead.
Yeah, remember, this is a short race, and these are one of the bottom levels of claiming. So, yeah, the 7 has a 40% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. And probably most likely that's going to be true, but I think the 1's going to keep that horse honest, and maybe a couple others like the 6. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 2 at just under 3 to 1. We have 8 to 1 morning line. It's a nice little overlay. And then same thing with the 5. Talking about little overlays, we just got just under 3 to 1, and we have 3 to 1 morning line.
Yeah, a trio of horses with the par plus, but they're kind of smallish. So the 1, the 2, and the 5. As far as your C zones are concerned, again, really nothing well above 50% in here. So it could be a contentious effort for most of these. They'll look for an on-the-track advantage. The 7 horse is a lone E, 1, 3, and 5 want to press. So most of the people middle back. The 7 can get that lead. It looks like he has a good shot with the 6 horse. Well, the 6 is a closer. That's what we call a left arrow horse here, folks. One that normally wants to close, but it's normal. Giddy up and go when the gates open, put it closer to the front than usual. 6 horse should also be a part of the mix of the late speed. Yeah, there it is, the second. But the 5 horse, Norfie, that one has the most late speed. Going to probably be a couple of lengths off and maybe a length and a half. So it's going to have to probably scoot up a little bit closer to the front than normal, or hope for a little bit slower fractions. Looking at our top total pace horse, that is the 6 horse. And a bunch of them tied. Maybe you could take the 7 and the 3 out. Maybe not the 7 with that early speed, so it has a shot to stay up there. Maybe reduce this field down. Charles, minus the 3. It's probably your top pick, but no, it's not.
No, I like the 1. This horse won last time, gets the rail, which is 18%. Third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 20% with that angle. You got a hot jockey trainer combo here for the last 14 days. A lot of positives for this horse. Then the 5 is my second choice. Another horse that has all rights to be right there. Ran second last time. Tactical speed. Should be sitting right around third or fourth. Well bred for this. Fits with this group. And then the 6 is my third choice. Ran even. Trainer gets 16% when he takes them from all weather to the dirt. Drops in class today, so it makes this horse a little on the dangerous side. And then the 7, probably the speed of the race, especially for the first quarter. Question is, can he hang on? Ran third last time, drops in class, so it makes it a little dangerous. But I'm going with my top 2 picks in the start to pick 4, and then I'm hitting that all button in the second leg. And then I'm going my top 2 picks in the third and fourth and final.
I'm going to start with that overlay here, the 2 horse Smoking Bow. Let's see if Smoking Bow can get the job done, because he is taking a pretty big class drop. Has by far, Charles, the most back class. Last race coming off the bench really wasn't so good. It didn't fire as well as you probably like it. So let's see if it can regain the by far top back class in the second up. Carstown, the 1 horse, the favorite, likely. Big win last out. Might be better in the third start after a layoff. Usually, I have found when a horse has a big performance, wins by a big margin. It's actually in Barry Meadows' book. A horse wins by more than 1.5 lengths. I think the next time out, they win at about 50. They win at least 15%, because I called it an alpha angle. That's one of the things that will be in the sheets that we'll be bringing out for all tracks. We'll identify every alpha angle that horses qualify for according to Barry Meadows from his book. So every angle out of the thousands and thousands that he looked at, I went through the book and I highlighted all of them that won at 15% or more, and then created the Excel formula to pull them out. Number 6, Tejota, the third choice. Charles, start is key for this guy. Gets off to a good start. He's got a really good chance to upset this field. Highly consistent performer, but if he spins his wheels, comes out a little bit of delay, race over. And then finally, number 5, Norfie, missed by just the length at this level last out. Cutting back in distance could be useful today. Pick 4, I'm going to go with the 1, 2, 2, 6, and then 2, 6, 8 with the 1, 3, 4, 9. I agree with you, Charles. The next race, the one we're about to talk about, I think anybody can win race number 7. I just wanted to keep my costs down, to be honest with you. So tell us about this wide open affair here.
I was, I went there and I kept on going, I like this. I like this. Next thing you know, I just went all in. But 6.5 furlongs, main track, optional claiming price is $75,000. Non-winners are 1. Purse is $91,000. This is for fillies, 3-year-olds, which have never won a race other than maiden, claiming, starter, restricted, or which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $75,000.
Plenty of things to run for that $75,000 optional claiming purse there. $91,000. That's a pretty big purse. I mean, you're borderline $100,000 stakes race there, Charles. 6.5 furlongs, as we mentioned before, on that dirt down there in South Florida. You got to be fast. So a quarter of them go wire to wire. Big rail bonus for new Diamond. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and 7, small penalty. 8 and out. So far, nobody's gotten the job done out there. Charles, before we go on, I forgot to look to see where we are in terms of race number 2. They're still walking around. So let's go through the data for race number 7.
All right, in race number 7. Well, it looks like the 5 is going to get the lead at 38%, but boy, look out for the 2, the 3. I mean, they all, any one of them really could get the lead. Of those 3 horses for sure will be battling it for the lead. So there's plenty of speed in this race. And when it comes to simulation odds, we got the 1 just slightly under 6-1, and it's got 8-1 morning line, and the 5 just under 3-1, and we have 6-1 morning line.
Yeah, only the 1 horse, the only one that doesn't have a par plus score. Look at the 2 horse Launch, Charles. Really strong C-zone score in here. Should be the most comfortable with our projected pace. Our race setup does look like that 2 horse could be a lone eat. The other 4 want to be middle or back. So if the 2 can get the lead, he'll be out there pressing forward along with the 5 horse. But since he's to the inside, should be able to control his destiny. Well, both of them, I mean, everybody's kind of close in here as well. A late speed, that one belongs to the New Diamond. That one has a little bit, about 3/4 of a length advantage over Roswell. Only one in here that really not going to be able to hang in at the end looks like is Flower Mound. And then our top total pace, the 3 of them here, Charles, stand out. The 1, 2, and 6. They're all pretty tied with each other. Well, they're about to go into the gates, Charles. Just give us your picks. Don't give us the reasons why, and then we'll come back to that.
Well, I like the 6 on top and the 3 second. And my third choice would be the 2, and then the 1 on the back end. But like I said, it's wide open.
Yeah, I have the 2 horse on top, then the 6, then the 3, and then the 1. So a little bit different in terms of Charles. Let's go back to race number 2. See what we have going here. Charles has a pick 4 going. I have a trifecta going. The 2 horse right now, Trumpets, is your even money favorite. The 9 horse next up at 2-1. So it looks like Charles has the top 2 choices, as do I in my trifecta. That 6 horse, Charles, woohoo! That one is 26-1. Hope he comes in second. We make that trifecta shot to work out there. Let's see right now how many horses they have left to get into the gates here before this race cooks. Looks like they're in race horse number 8 now. So they got 1 more to go. Then they'll be ready to run. The second favorite, the 9, the last to load, a couple of seconds away from the baritone tones of our good friend in South Florida, Pete Aiello, out of his bird's nest. And they're off and running in the second race. The 2 horse, Charles, a nice, easy gate to get to the gate. Yeah, to get to the lead.
Gate from the gate.
Yes, gate from the gate. He had a nice little tempo out of there. Didn't really look like he was working that hard. The 7 horse to his outside, Sugar and Spice, the one we thought might be up on the lead. Running right now in third, about to be passed, though, is the 3 horse Retail Therapy with Big Dreamer. The second choice, the 9 horse, Save Us Melina, running in 5th, taking the 2 path. The 6 horse coming up on the rail there. Gazan, as they go through the opening quarter, in a pretty brisk 21.73. 2 horse maintains the lead. Charles looks like he's got a good shot to run away with this race. The 9 horse is coming the hardest at the end, along with the 8. Those 2 are chasing pretty well. The 8 decided to make company with the 7, so I think that kind of screwed up his chances right there to get after it. But this 2 horse, Charles, pounds the best. 2, 3, 9, 8. 2, 3, 9, and 8. I needed the 9 to get up there for second. Charles did have the 3 in the back end there. Retail Therapy, at 16-1. But the 2 horse gets your pick 4 going at 4-5. And I really, if you look at what we had cooking there, the only one to go par plus, Charles, in this whole field. And then we had it basically at maybe 3-5 odds, somewhere between 3-5 and 4-5.
Even money, so that's a
So did it go off at even money or 4-5?
Last I saw was even, so there you have it.
But even at 4-5, it was a fair bet.
4-5. You're right.
Yeah, for a horse that won with absolute ease. I think our good friend Christopher D'Souza, I think he had that 2 horse in the mix of his picks there. Let me see. Go back to that race number 2. He had the 5, the 2, and the 7 in his trifecta box, but the 3 unfortunately screwed us all up, Christopher D'Souza. All right, Charles, we have, what do we just do, 7? So let's do races 8 and 9 for the late daily double, and then call it a day.
Yeah, in the 8th race, we have 5.5 furlongs on that Tapeta, claiming price of 25,000. Non-winners of 2 life. Purse is 31,000. This is for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Yeah, we've seen speed basically dominate the first 2 on the Tapeta in the short sprints. No reason to think that won't be the case in race 8. I mean, it's been the case throughout the year at Gulfstream Park, with half of them winning wire to wire at this distance. A rail bonus for Bon Dia, 2 and 3 under par, 4 through 7 place fair, 8 and out, get a little bit of a bonus, Charles. So be on the rail and be fast, or be on the outside and be fast. And the most of the speed is clicked out of this race with Sadie Bear. So these 4 down here, any one of them can get the lead.
Yeah, right now it says that 6 is at 10%, but I want to tell you, watch out for that 1. The 1's got a heck of a lot of speed there, especially cutting back in distance. So we'll see about that. Simulation odds, really
None.
no one.
Nope, the 3 took it all. You have the 1 and the 8 par plus potential. As far as your C zone is concerned, the best is Motown Mika. But here you have another one in here, Charles, the 8-horse Splurge. Strong C zone, should contend for the lead, and the top par plus, maybe a little bit overpriced at 3-1, but I would imagine with the 3 scratching out of that race, those odds would go down. That'll be another benefit of the sheets that we're about to bring out, is that we're going to do it in such a way that we'll be able to take the 3-horse out and then rerun the calculations pretty quickly and get them out, so that it reflects the horses that are in the race, not the horses that were scheduled to race. So that will update all the numbers. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it should be, I mean, you're not going to be able to get the information anywhere else. Our race shape for race number 8, barbell approach, either be on the front or be in the back. So I would try to see if maybe one of these closers has a little bit of early speed to get involved. Left arrow horse action. The 6-horse does look like the pace setter. There's one, the 7-horse. Princess Blakely and Splurge, 2 of the closers, should be a part of the early mix. Do either of them have late legs? No, that goes to the 2-horse. Talking Wonders, and then 1 of 1. They're a little bit better than the rest of the field. That 6-horse, Charles, right in there too. So maybe the 6-horse is the one to beat. And here it is right in that mix. Looking at this race, Charles, except for the 1, Bon Dia, all of them are pretty tightly mixed up in there. You don't care about total pace, apparently, because you just said Bon Dia is going to be the winner.
Yeah, I really like the way it's setting up for this horse. This horse last time out, went longer and showed a lot of speed, and showed speed in before that, the race before that. So this horse is just probably dying for this type of distance and everything. Gets the rail, this horse drops. Hot jockey the last 7 days aboard. I mean, there's a lot of pluses to this horse. And look at the price, 15-1. Why not?
Mm-hmm. A little overlay too. I mean, we had it at both of them a little overlay, but go ahead.
And then the 6 is my second choice. Definitely the horse to beat. Ran second last 2 times, has the speed. Trainer gets 24% first after the claim. The 8 is my third choice. And this horse ran third last time, well bet last time. The trainer also gets 24% first after the claim, gets Irad aboard, makes that horse very dangerous. And the 5 ran even last time, drops in class, well bet, fits with this group. That's why I'm doing a trifecta with all of them, because they're all pretty decent prices. And going to win in place on my long shot there, the 1. And then I'm doing a $2 daily double, which is the last $2 of my $100 budget, to the next race.
I'm going to start with the 8 Splurge. That's my top pick in race number 8. 8 and 8. Top par plus score in here, Charles, by far. Should be a part of the early pace. I like that. And no strong C zone. That combination usually does exceptionally well. Chloe's Toy, the 6-horse, steady performer. All of its race internals improved early, middle, right part of their last race, and did run faster fractions at 5.5 furlongs than it did in the prior start at 5 furlongs. That's something that shows up in the winner's notes over and over and over again. Talking Wonders, the 2-horse, a little bit of a bomb in here, Charles, the longest price on the board, according to Pete Aiello. I'm going to take a bomb here. Does have the top total pace by just a little bit. And so far, the top total pace horse, Charles, winning at about 30%. So if I can get 30 to 1 odds on an angle that hits at 30%, count me in. And then finally, number 5, 1 of 1, the 5 horse, third up, Charles's favorite handicapping angle, that classic third start after layoff. And if you look at the resume of the 1 of 1 5 horse, you'll find that the third up, the last time it made that cycle, was by far the best of the 3. Try for me. I'm hoping that 2 hits at a price, Charles. 2, 6, 8 over to 6, 8. And then the 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I don't have your 1 in there, so I'm probably going to regret that in the back end of my try come race number 8. Last race of the day for you and me. We'll be back again tomorrow, folks. We're going to start about an hour earlier tomorrow than usual. So we'll start at 11 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you tune in. You'll see all of our social sites kind of scrolling down there below. Sign up for those if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button here on YouTube if you haven't, so that when we go live, we typically put the show, we typically schedule it about a half hour in advance, so you'll be notified of that. Again, starting a little bit early again tomorrow at Gulfstream Park. Not quite sure what we're going to do on Foreign Fridays with Thomas. We'll find something fun to do. But right now, we're going to close out the card at Gulfstream.
Yes, 1 mile on the turf, allowance of 25,000, purse is 37,000. This is for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never started, for a claiming price of 25,000 or less, which have never won a race other than maiden claiming state bred allowance.
And a mile on the grass, horses that stalk the leaders, they do the best. But if you're on the lead, you can still win. About 1 out of 5 gets the score. The rail stinks, so Ali Bear, yeah, you might want to downgrade that one a little bit. I unfortunately didn't. And then the 2 and 3, they play fair. 4 through 7, small bonus. 8 and out is the best place to be. Charles, I went with the 1 horse. What am I thinking? Anyway, you didn't even have the 1 horse in that last race. But early speed-wise, it looks like 2 of them are the class of the field.
Yeah, we got the 7 at 41% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. I personally think you got to look out for the 5 a little bit, but you do have the 3 that has a good chance also at 39%. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 3 at just under 2 to 1. We have 8 to 1 morning line. And then what do we have? We have anything else?
That's it, man. Yeah, that one stole it all. You have 5 of them with a par plus score, the 1, 2, 3, 4. So the inside 4 horses, maybe do those 4 together. Nice exacta, trifecta, potential with some nice prices in there. C-Zone, that 1 horse, Ali Bar, strong C-Zone, good par plus score, maybe one that you want to contend with. The 2 horse in that mix as well. Charles, and out here, the 8 and the 9, 2 horses that you seem to favor. They got a good chance to get a pace that they want to run as well. Last race of the day, nobody really wants to be your pace setter. In this kind of scenario, if you get to the lead, you probably got a pretty good chance to win. Your confidence will grow up there. You know about a length quicker than everybody else. So, should be maybe a lone E out there by itself. The late speed belongs to Strand of Gold. Going to be way off the early pace, according to its early speed. That last bullet is mine, something like that. It also has some good late pace, but most of them in here, Charles, should be coming at the end. Our top total pace does paint a picture of a very competitive race, but the 1, 3, 4, and 9, they get the top scores. According to the data so far, 70% the chance the winner is in that mix. Which one did you pick?
The 9. I got long shots today. Let me tell you, I like the 9 here. It's 10 to 1. This horse won last time out. Hot jockey trainer combo last 14 days. Well bet last time. Has that tactical speed to nail him at the end. So look out. I think the 8 is my second choice. Is another tough horse here. Look at the odds on this one. 12 to 1. Ran even. Third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 23%. This one will be closing at the end. Then the 3. Another one with decent odds. 8 to 1. Drops in. Ran even. Goes longer today. It looks like it wants that. Totally fits with this group. And then the 5. I personally think has the speed to go up front, or if not, be second. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 14% with that angle. Cuts back in distance. Has IRAD. So, I mean, if I had money left over, I would be definitely a try box for me, all 4 of those.
Yeah, with that, all those high odd horses, for sure, that would pay off real nice if it comes home. I know the rail sucks. Alley Bear, right, what are you going to do? This one did run better fractions, improved its pace numbers through the first half mile last time out. Really strong C-zone score, cutting back in distance, overcomes that stinky rail. The Last Bullet's mine. That one gets my second call right there, that 4-horse. Plenty of back class. Did run a nice little Z pattern last out. And at times, and if this is one of those times, could run away from these horses late, because at times this horse does have electric late speed. Number 9, Cardio Princess, as my third choice. This one did run much better fractions last out, almost always an indication of a horse coming into its top form. And then to keep the saw sharp, has a maintenance workout between races. Finally, the 3-horse, New Rome. Was a tough call for me over the 8-horse, Charles, to be honest. But this horse has run on grass 3 times, won them all. They were all sprints. This time it's going to go to a route. It's going to go to the front. It's a 2-turn, unfortunately. If it was a 1-turn, it would definitely be even better. But let's see if it can go 4 for 4 on the grass the first time out at a route. Trifecta for me, 149 over the 1-4, over the 1-3, 4, 8, and 9 to close out the card at Gulfstream Park on Hump Day for Valentine's Day. Our total picks right here. Charles, wasn't that all bad spending that day with you?
Yeah, well, that's what my wife says every day.
That's what she says. It wasn't that bad. That's a good.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't as bad as I expected, Charles.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad to hang out with you.
Little pat on the head. Again, tomorrow we'll start over a little bit early. We'll start at 11 a.m. Eastern instead of noon Eastern. Make a note of that. Follow us on our social sites. You'll be reminded tomorrow as we post the about a half an hour before we get going. Again, not sure what Thomas and I will do for Foreign Fridays, but one thing we always seem to do on Foreign Fridays is when the races are actually run, hit some long shots. So you're going to want to tune in for that. Of course, Terry and I will be back next week. Big race this weekend at Fairgrounds. The Rebel, isn't it the Rebel this weekend, or is it the Risen Star? Yes, the Risen Star. A big Kentucky Derby qualifier. Early on in the week, I said that the wagering guide week was this week. No, folks, it's next week. We'll be doing the big race at Oaklawn Park, the $1.2 million Rebel there. All right, Charles, any final thoughts from you before we get out of here?
No, that's about it. If you guys have any questions or anything about, buying horses or anything like that, hit me up on a Gmail at bigcasinoracing@gmail.com.
Yes, you see bigcasinoracing@gmail.com. The best way to reach Charming Charles. Before we go, though, bro, can't leave us hanging. Who's going to win in college hoops?
Well, today I like Richmond.
Richmond, the Spiders.
The Spiders.
Yes.
They're playing Massachusetts.
And if you are part of our email list here at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, again, free picks today at Penn National. I put out my top. Did you see, Charles? My top Super Bowl prop was a field goal of 55 yards or more at plus 400. Came in the first quarter. It made me feel good. And they had 2 of them actually in that game.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yes. Fun. Oh, you weren't too happy. What were your thoughts about that game, Charles?
It was a very good game. There were some questionable things, but like any game, I guess. So it is what it is. And, next time.
You think they'll get there next year?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, Charles.
Definitely.
Go out there and put a futures bet on Brock Purdy to win the Super Bowl next year. I got to be honest. I've been a critic of him because he is inaccurate. I mean, no matter what you say, he's inaccurate not all the time, but at times he's inaccurate. And when he's inaccurate, he hasn't paid the price for it. But I do feel like all that criticism that he's received has been unwarranted. The kid's doing the best he can. He seems like a high character individual. I think it's fair to critique his game, but I don't think it's fair to critique him personally. In any case, folks, we hope no matter what you're doing on this Valentine's Day that you are spending it with people who you love and, more importantly, love you, right? It's never good when it's a one-way street. And then, of course, we hope that you had God's favor, God's grace in every single thing that you do for the remainder of this Hearts Day. Charles ends up, it's also Ash Wednesday for our Catholic friends.
That's right.
As well. Everything that you do ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Have a wonderful Valentine's Ash Wednesday on this hump day.